Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel and the practical series of cloud computing and web services. In this session I explain you how we can create a simple RESTful service to implement CRUD operation. So we have a create, read, update and delete operation with the database. So for this we have to create a player database. Within that we have a table with the column player name, age, country and runs. Then we deploy the web service and execute these all operations. So let us start with the step number 1. The step number 1 is create a database and table. So first step, we will create a database in MySQL. So start with the MySQL. So this is my MySQL command line. Now the password is root. Now we first create a database. So to create a database we have a query create database and then we give a name to this database ccdb1. As we can see here, query OK, one row is affected, that means the database is created. Now we use this database ccdb1. Now next query we type show tables. As we can see here, we have an empty set, that means we don't have any table. Now we create a table. Create table, the name of the table is your player. Then having a column, as we can see here in the question, we have a player name, age, country and runs. So first we take a player name, that is my p name, which is my varchar data type of 50. Then player name, player age, integer, and then player country, again we have a varchar 50, then comma, and then we have a runs integer. So this is my query. This will create a table, as we can see here. Now we check show tables. So as we can see here, we have a table player, right? Okay, moving to the step number 2. Now we create a project in NetBeans. Go to the file, new project, then Java web application, next. Now this is my CRUD operations web application, and then next. Then this is my server Glassfish, next, and then finish. So this will create a new web application. So this is my web application. Now right click on this web application, new, and RESTful web service from pattern. If you do not found this option here, then go to the other. Then we have a web service option, and this we have RESTful web service from the pattern. Then click on next. Then simple root resource, next. Now okay, here we type a package name. So now this is my server package. So this is my server package, and then we have these options, generic resource. Then MIM type जो है हमारा, I will take application/XML, and so rest of the things are as it is. Then click on finish. So this will create a RESTful web service. So we have a two files, generic resource files.java, application configuration file.java. So go to the generic resource file. Then we have a different methods in this. Okay, now just I'm copying this method. Okay, now instead of this I will write execute. This is my name of the method, execute my query, and then we just copy this path @path generic, and I type this path here in this slash execute query. So this is my label. When we execute the web service, it will show a label this. Now we change the return type of the execute my query method to string. Okay, and the content string content I am writing my query. I will pass execute my query as a query variable यहाँ पे as a parameter I will pass a query. Okay, so let us start with the code. Now the first step that we type is your import java.sql.star. So this is my package which is used to interact with the MySQL database. Next, in execute query, my query, I will start try. This is my try and catch. If there is any runtime error, it will show the error. Okay, so try and catch. Okay, now step number 2, we load and register the driver. So to load the driver, we have a class dot for name method, and the name of my driver is com.mysql.jdbc.d capital driver. So this is my driver name. This is my step number 2. Now step number 3 is create a connection object. So we have a connection interface. Connection con equals to driver manager is a class dot get connection, and now we pass the connection URL comma the username and then password. So the username for the MySQL is by default root, and the password is whatever you set during the installation you have to pass here. So my password is root. And now next I will type a URL. तो URL के लिए I will create a variable URL, and then we pass the URL in this. So URL is JDBC :MySQL / localhost / the name of the database CCDB1. So this is my database, and then in connection the URL is given in semicolon. So this is my step number 3. Now next we create a statement object. Statement st equals to con.create statement. Then next we create query variable, and then we already have a query variable here, so I am just passing this query variable to queue. So whatever query that will send, right, we pass as a parameter in execute my query method. So यहाँ पे the query is stored in the variable queue. Then we execute st dot execute query. We have execute this queue. After the query execution, I will return query executed. Query is executed. So this is my message that I will return, okay, when the query is executed successfully. Now next we close the statement object and then connection object. If first we so this code will come before return statement. Okay, now in catch statement we return the error message, get message. So here we have a code which interact with the MySQL database CCDB1, and it will perform the various query operations. Now we first right click and we clean this web application. First step, as we can see here, the cleaning operation. Then right click, we deploy this web application, so it will start with the server. As we can see here, starting the Glassfish server. So after execution, right, we get a generic option. Just click the plus sign, execute query. Now we type the query here. So first we check our database, right? We have a table player. Select star from player. As we can see here, we don't have any record in the player database. Now we start with the this one, execution. Now I am insert into player table, and then we have a values. So pehla we give the player name. So suppose I am giving a name as Raj. Then next we have a player age 34, and then we have a player country within single quotes. We write India, and then the runs. Suppose I am giving a run as 250. Okay. Now this is my query. Now we test the query. As we can see here, we are getting an error com.mysql.jdbc.driver. That means we हमने जो है वो ड्राइवर ऐड नहीं किया है. This is my driver. Okay. So this is my driver. So we add the driver first. So this is my web application. Go to the libraries. This is my libraries. Right click, add library. Then import. So we have a list of drivers here. So we take JDBC MySQL driver. As you can see, and MySQL JDBC driver imported. This is my driver, add library. Then again we have to deploy this service. Okay. Now go to the RESTful service, test webful service, then operation. Okay. Again we get a generic option here. Just click on execute query. Then again insert into player table. We have a player table, values, then player name. Again I am typing Raj within single quotes. Then player age 34. Then player country, again single quotes, India, and then runs 250. Okay. Now this is my query. Now we execute this query. As we can see here, it is giving a message executed, query executed successfully. Now we check the output in MySQL. So when we type this select star from player, we are getting empty set. Now again we type the same query. As we can see here, we have inserted a record. In the same way, if you want to insert multiple records, just change here. We type Raja 36 India, and the run is 200. Then execute this second. Then Rajesh 31, and now I am changing the run to 400. So we had inserted a 2 records. Okay. Now go to the MySQL database. See, all the records are inserted. So this is my first operation, that is my insert data. So we done with the insert operation. Now we can update the record. Suppose we have a player name Raja. Raja है का जो run है it is 200. I want to update this runs, right? Okay, ये run को हम लोग को update करना है to 300. So now again we go to this web service. We have a query update. Which table? We have a player table. Set. I want to set which column? Runs to 300, but where the player name, which is my P name, equals to within single quotes we write Raja. Okay. Then again test, execute, query is executed. Now go to the MySQL, again select. As we can see here, the name of the runs of the Raja, right, is changed to 300. In the same way, we can also delete the query. Delete from player where name equals to P name equals to. Suppose I want to delete Raja. Okay. Again test. Go to the MySQL. Then as we can see here, there are 2 records. So using this we can execute any query. Suppose I want to create a new table. So create table product. Suppose this is my product table. Product ID integer, comma, product name, varchar 50, product price, again integer. So these are my column. Again execute this query, go to the MySQL, type show tables. Now as we can see here, we can create a table, we can insert a table, we can delete the records, we can update the records. So all the operation we can execute by typing the query in the content box. Now the last is remaining, which is your select query. For select query, just copy this code and then I am pasting. Then execute query get all clear. So this is my label. Now get all clear, this is my method name. Okay, next the query. Then we have a string variable data initially empty. Now we start with the while loop. Then we first execute the query. So to execute query, we have a result set rs equals to st dot execute query method, and then I will pass the queue in this method. So it will execute the query and read the data from the database and store in the result set. Now one by one I will iterate the result. So rs dot, we have a method next. Okay, now first we retrieve data equals to data. I am concatenating the data rs dot get string of column number 1. So this will fetch the first column, that which is your player name in the data, and I am giving a space for the second column. In the same way, just copy this code 4 times, right? Because we have a different column numbers. So this code is basically used to retrieve all the data from the player table and store in the data. Next, st dot close, con dot close, and then we return this data. So this is my code to read the data from the database. Okay, now again we just clean my web service, then we deploy the web service again. Done. Then right click, test web service, browse, we select the application, then OK. Okay, go to the generic, we have a get all player. Now here we type select star from table name, which is my player. Okay, test. As you can see here, both the records, record number 1 and 2, we have a 2 records in this table. So it is displaying the output. Raj 34 India, in the run 250. Rajesh 31 India, run 400. So this all about the CRUD operation used in the web services. I hope you all understood this session. Thank you so much.